Hello, everybody. It is Jamie and Marcus here from Test of Thyme.
Test of Thyme.
Love, passion, and hustle in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
So Marcus and I are here just going to talk about some stuff today, right? Some things that
conversation, right?
That we want to talk about
stories.
Yes.
Triumphs.
Good,
losses,
bad, and the ugly, all the good stuff.
The really cool stuff.
Yes.
And the not so cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
we're winding down the year, right?
Yep.
We're winding down, getting ready to enter a brand new year.
2024 is on the horizon. I'm not sure when this episode will air, but 2024 is on the horizon, and we are feeling good about 2024.
We are. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. We are traveling again, which is awesome. We are training new staff right now, which has been really fun.
That's really exciting.
And, we're nurturing our staff as well, which has been really fun.
I've learned to be a better leader.
I would agree.
In the last 6 weeks.
I would agree.
Much better leader.
Yes. Well, I don't say much better leader because we've had the skills. You're just changing your leadership style right now.
I'm changing my expectations.
Yes.
And I'm changing the way I'm teaching.
Well, because you always have to change things, right? We're always changing the way we do things, the way we operate, because the world is always changing. So we're always having to adapt to the way things are changing in our world.
Staff is the biggie.
Staff
has changed.
Yes.
And we have to put more effort in.
Yes.
To cultivate team members.
Yes.
So else it's just what it is.
Yes.
I've accepted that.
Yeah, you sure have.
And I guess there was no wrong time to accept that and do that all along, which I should have been more active. That's a whole other topic.
You're always veer off onto different topics. But anyway, we are here to talk about a funny story that happened years ago to us. I mean, way back in the beginning. We've had a restaurant now for 20 years, and we had some funny things happen to us, but this one was really funny because we had no idea what you were getting yourself into.
No idea.
You and another staff member.
Yes.
So do you want to share the story, tell a little bit about it, and I'll tell my side of it because I think it's pretty funny.
So way back in the beginning of the restaurant's history, it must have been 2005 or 6, we entered a bartender competition and we submitted recipes.
You and another staff member.
Our bartender at the time, Kevin, and we submitted recipes, and they picked us to come perform these recipes in New York City at one of the big food shows.
Honestly, I think they picked anybody who put recipes in.
Well,
I think it was just a it was a drink making competition.
Whatever it was, we got picked.
I don't even know.
Whatever it was, we got picked. So this is cool. We're going to be on stage, making our drink and this and that. And it's going to be cool. We submitted the ingredients we needed. And
had you ever done this before?
I've done a lot of competitions.
No. Bartending competitions.
I've done food competitions. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I've cooked mystery baskets, American Culinary Federation sanctioned events. I had done ice carving competitions before. Right. And so I was like, okay, this is just a bartending competition. Just get up there and you make drinks. I don't even know what the drink was that Kevin and I did. We did one drink, or we did 2 drinks each or something. And so I was like, this is no big deal. I'm gonna get up there and make drinks. This is no big deal whatsoever. I'm like, I'm a pro at contests and competitions.
Did you think it was more an amateur competition?
I don't
think you ever even bartended.
I was so excited. It's like, we're going to New York we're going to compete in New York. You're going to compete and we're going to win something, and we're going to show off the restaurant, our great bar at the restaurant, and this is great publicity. I'm going to get up there and I'm just going to shake away and the judges are going to love it.
So I'm laughing more so because I know you've done competitions before and you're a good speaker, you're a good talker, but you've never really bartended.
How hard is it?
Well, it is difficult.
Well, I'm just making 2 drinks for the judges. That's all I'm really doing.
Well,
I know my ingredients. So we came up with drinks and we made the recipes and they worked. And so there we go. We entered twice for the restaurant and they picked both of us. So we have 2 chances now to win. Kevin and I are 2 people competing up on stage. We have double the chances of winning than one person for the restaurant.
yes. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
All right. So
you arrive in New York City.
we pull into New York City. We're running late as usual.
You're going to the Javits Center.
We're going to Jefferson. We're running late as usual. And so I pull up and drop Kevin off.
With all the ingredients and everything, right?
I'm not sure how many ingredients we bought because I think they were providing a lot of the ingredients. I think. I don't remember this so long ago. But I dropped Kevin off and I have to now go park 4 or 5 blocks away at a garage and then run back to the Javits Center. Well, Kevin got in there first. Kevin signed up. He was one of the first ones. So we really weren't that late. He was a slot number 3, I think. So 2 bartenders at a time would go up. He was slot number 3. He didn't sign me in. He said, Kevin, why don't you sign me in? Because I didn't sign you in. I signed myself in. I'm like, okay, so now I'll sign myself in. So I signed in and I was like number 25. There's like 40 people competing at this thing. I'm slot number 25. So we get in there. The first 2 guys that get up there, I'm like, oh crap.
They're twisting and turning and pouring and doing a big show.
There's this whole thing you have to do in these competitions. Like you hold the bottle a proper way, you pour it a proper way, you shake the jigger, like the shaker to all the judges, and there's this whole like it's a whole show thing, like a whole show thing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I think we're a little out of our league today. Like there's a guy who flew in from Puerto Rico for this, people from all over the country. And I'm like, oh boy. Now before Kevin and I could even think, Kevin signed in 3rd. Kevin's up next. Kevin is 2nd on stage. He gets up there. I'm not saying I would have done any better. But one of the other contestants came out to help him to find some of the equipment. He was dropping ice all over the place. I was like, I'm going to be just as embarrassed as he is right now. And the guy next to him was like, this, spinning and shaking and pouring, and doing these drinks and flaring things up. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I'm saying, I'm so happy Kevin didn't sign me in when he signed in, because I would have been up there with them right now. That's the 3rd and 4th person. He's number 3 out and 4th. Him and I would have been up there together and
making fools out of yourself.
Making fools out of ourselves. So I was like talking in this crowd, talking to a couple of the other contestants. They're like, oh, this is a sanctioned event. This is like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know any of the rules, the etiquette, like all this stuff. I don't know any of this. I just know how to make my drink and have it taste good. And that's all I know. I don't know the fancy stuff and all that kind of stuff. So it's like showing up to a dog show with a pretty looking dog, but not knowing how to walk the dog or what you're supposed to do.
That's a
right.
Good, yeah.
So we showed up with 2 good looking drinks.
No, I think you had to bring shakers and everything.
I don't.
I think you brought shakers because I remember packing you up with a couple of things.
Well, let me tell you something. Kevin got off stage and he was like, "Oh my gosh, how bad was it?" I'm like, eh. So I'm like, "Well, Kevin, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not getting up there. They can call my name all they want. I'm out of here." So we left. We left. There's no way I'm getting up there.
We just left.
I just left. We just left.
I didn't even realize you just left.
We went to the food show. We went to the food show portion. I let them call my name. I was like, there's no way I'm getting up there. We left the competition. Evan wasn't winning anything. I definitely wasn't winning anything. We just left.
How many drinks did he have to make?
2 or something. I think it was like 2 drinks.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And so, yeah, I was like, oh boy.
So what did you learn from all of this?
Well, I'm
Be more prepared.
more prepared. Be more prepared. I guess
Do
understand
your research.
understand what I was just signing up for. You know, I
Right.
had never back then, 2005 or six, there was no really YouTube channel that you go on and watch
Yeah, no.
these people and this and that. So um e- I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But you know, I've been in a lot of other cooking competitions where people show up that think they, you know, can have a good recipe and this and that, and they get in these competitions and they're not familiar with the rules. They're not familiar with the etiquette
Right.
or the procedures.
Right.
And that's understandable. I've seen ice carving competitions. I did a lot of ice carving competitions in the 90s. And there are people that showed up because they could make a buffet piece, they could make a vase, they could make a swan, they could make a buffet piece. When it comes to ice carving competitions, sculpting competition, it's a totally different game. You're making intricate pieces, you're welding
I think
ice,
these are the first
you
times
have all these
you
fancy
you
tools.
did the ice carving competition, right? When you were doing the amateur stuff, you were doing
More buffet
more
pieces. And
buffet
I
pieces.
progressed as
Yeah.
I went along.
Yeah.
But you know, so we showed up as these like
Amateur.
amateur
Very
bartenders.
amateur.
Amateur bartenders. We could make a drink, but we didn't know any of that other fancy stuff. And Kevin got really nervous up there. I was nervous for him, nervous for myself. I was like, well, Kevin, that's the best thing you ever did was not sign me up. And we bailed. We left.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the take home in all this?
I guess before you do something like that, watch a competition first, prepare, proper preparation, understand what you're getting yourself into. And I would do it again if I had the proper techniques. I've always told our kids when they say you can't do something, it's not that you can't do something, you don't know the technique yet to do it. Because anybody can, if you see other people doing it, you can do it. So all you need is a technique, the training, you need a game plan. And that's like running a restaurant, right? A
Right.
lot of people show up to run a restaurant who haven't ran a restaurant before. They have a few good recipes. They might be a good
Well,
home
you
cook.
hear a lot of people
They-
say, well, my chicken recipe is the best people have ever had. And I opened a restaurant because I was told,
Right.
you
My
know,
family told
my
me.
family told me it's the best they've ever had. So I can open a
Right.
restaurant.
Or they work at a couple of places as a line cook and they go, I can open a restaurant. All of a sudden they get into the restaurant and they don't know anything about accounting. They don't know anything about finances and accounting.
Right.
They don't know anything about
Marketing.
They don't
all
know
that
any of
stuff.
this other stuff and they're totally lost.
Yeah.
But they can't walk off the stage like I never went up on the stage. They can't not do that. They have to open the door because they
Right.
have money invested in it and they have a livelihood and they have to, and now you're paying team members and they have livelihoods.
Mhm.
So you can't just do what I did.
Yeah.
You have to show up
Yeah.
and you have to either figure it out, hire someone who's going to figure it out, or eventually you're not going to make it and fold up if things aren't figured out. So I mean, it's just like preparation for a restaurant. Know your stuff.
Yeah.
Know your stuff.
Yeah.
Get the proper help, the proper practice. A lot of people open up restaurants that have never even been in the industry before.
Yeah. They don't even know how to serve more than 10 people at a time, right? Or how quick paced things are going to be, and you have to get things out,
right.
Or it's okay to just 86 something because, or, not have something because you ran out of it,
Right.
and you
Here,
didn't prep enough.
Where we're from in Ellenville, we've seen a lot of restaurants over 20 years that are like these super small mom and pop places that open up. They go to the grocery store to buy their stuff. They don't know about a food distributor. Sometimes they go to Sam's Club and they'll go to the grocery store and be like, buy 2 bunches of Swiss chard. I'm like, what are you doing with 2 bunches of Swiss chard this week? Like, and then you see some restaurants that would like post like sold out today. How could you be selling out of food by 7 o'clock and closing if you're a dinner operation? So there's a lot of stuff to learn and prep.
So there's a lot of prep that goes into your restaurant, into doing an event, into doing, a competition, something like that. So
do you have any funny moments like that?
Oh, do I have any funny moments like that? I'm trying to think. Well, I would definitely say the first time I made a drink at Aroma Thyme at our restaurant. We had just gotten our liquor license and we had a big event that night.
Yes.
And I was fumbling. I had no idea how hard can it be to make a gin and tonic, right? And they're like, our guests who were here were like, you didn't make that right. It gets a lime. It gets this. I had no idea. So I guess that's, a little embarrassing. let's see, other things. What other things have I don't know. No, I don't think I've had too many things like that because I think you and I balance each other out really well where I'm much more prepared and I read things before I sign up for them and I kind of make sure I know what I'm getting myself into before I do it. And I'm not as daring as you are. Like I wouldn't sign up for something like that. Now I would, but not then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, this whole bartending thing was a whole cult, and I mean, it was just like
oh
this
yeah,
whole,
people are
yeah,
carrying their
yeah.
own shakers,
Oh yeah.
their own everything, right?
Yeah.
You
I
came
mean,
home and
yeah,
you're like, wow,
they were professionals. Just
they had
downright,
suitcases.
oh, walk in with a suitcase, open up all their equipment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I brought stuff in a bag.
Yeah.
I got
Like a paper
bag.
bag.
I brought
Yeah.
stuff in.
That you threw together 3
You
hours
say I open
before.
up a suitcase. Now, if I showed up for a cooking competition, I open up my suitcase with my magnetic strips and all my knives and all that kind of stuff. So I'm prepared on that. But okay, so I
So
chalked
it's
it up.
a learning
I
experience.
chalked it up as a learning experience.
And here we have a funny story to tell you. So
Don't think we ever got any good publicity that day for the restaurant.
I don't think so. And you ran away. They were probably like, Marcus Giuliano, where are you?
They're
Marcus
calling them.
Giuliano. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I'm sure other people. I don't know because I wasn't there. I don't know if other people about it.
I'm sure other people bowed out.
Yeah.
You don't even know who the winner was, do you?
No idea.
No.
No idea. No idea. So yeah. So that's
Well.
it, folks. So if you want more tips or any tips on how to run a restaurant, go to restaurantgrowthsecretsuniversity.com or
50 mistakes, 50 mistakes.
Our book is free over there, 50 mistakes. All of our other books are over there. We have a lot of great content, great videos on how you can learn how to run a restaurant. And we have a lot more information coming on how you can train a team, be a better leader. That's our focus now in 2023,
Being
2024
a better leader.
is leadership, leadership, leadership. That's the name of the game right now in this industry is leading and teaching your staff, your team to get them to the next level. Especially with the lack of employees that are out there, the quality of employees. We have a lot of great employees, by the way, but there's employees that aren't that qualified that might be eager to come in, and you have to harness those people and mentor them.
Yeah.
Be their mentor, be their life coach too. I mean, we had a conversation with somebody today about getting up earlier, stop playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things you didn't have to talk to people about 20 years ago in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so things have changed. So we'll have a lot of stuff on leadership, mentorship, all that kind of stuff. I'll be speaking in Vegas about that. A lot of the food shows coming up that I'm speaking at will be on that topic.
Excellent.
So,
all right. Thank you for listening, watching us. We are Marcus and Jamie, and this was Test of Thyme, Love, Passion, and Hustle in the Restaurant Business.